Hello and welcome to your upper body workout. I am so excited for you guys today. We are graduating into some dumbbells. The first couple of weeks, we really focused on our muscle to mind connection and our form. This week, we will continue to focus on those two things, but we're also gonna add in some dumbbells. So make sure you have your light dumbbells on standby. You will need them today. Now, if you don't have dumbbells, that's okay. You can still go through the movements without your weights, okay? But I do recommend that you grab some dumbbells, you purchase some dumbbells, because you will want those eventually so that you can continue to get results and see progress in your strength. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with our warm up. We have push presses. So I want you to go ahead and put your arms in this position, and we're going to simply push towards the ceiling. This is warming up the upper body, our shoulders, triceps, biceps, all those little muscle groups that we are about to start working out together. So excited. All right, 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, let's do some reaches. Reaching from side to side here. Making sure we are always breathing. Sometimes it's easy to hold your breath when you're really focused on the movement. Okay, last one, arm swings. Alternating one arm over the other. So maybe right arm and then left arm, making sure that we're feeling a nice stretch through the chest. Five seconds, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring your arms out. We've got some arm circles. Start one direction because in a minute we will be switching to the other direction, okay? Nice, big arm circles. I started off kind of small, but now I'm bringing out those arm circles nice and big, getting a full rotation through the shoulders. Okay, now let's switch our direction, 30 seconds. Feeling that stretch through the chest. There you go. We've got 15 seconds. We're halfway through this stretch here. A little bit of a stretch, a little bit of cardio too, right? If you're really moving those arms, your heart might be starting to pick up a little bit. Let's get started with our workout. Go ahead and grab a mat. Come down to your knees. The first movement that we have is an all fours push-up. So this is a step up from the wall push-up that we did the first 2 weeks. I want you to separate your knees about shoulder width apart. So you need a little bit of space. And very important here, make sure your arms aren't way out here or way back here, okay? We want the shoulder and the wrist to be in line with each other, okay? All right, so what we're gonna do is we're basically going to drop the chest to the ground, and you can choose how deep you want to go. If you feel comfortable with going to the floor, you can, or if you need to do a shorter range, that is fine too, okay? So we've got 30 seconds on the clock. Let's go ahead and get started. Now for this push-up, I'm keeping my triceps close to my body. There are several different variations to a push-up. There's one variation where your elbows go push out to the side, but for this specific workout, we're gonna do a tricep push-up. So keeping the elbows close to the body and then pushing up, okay? Great job. We did 30 seconds. We're gonna take a 30-second break, and then we're gonna jump into our second set. And remember, for all these workouts, we are doing 2 sets. So if it takes you a little bit to get into the groove of the first set, that's okay. You'll get another opportunity, okay? All right, let's get set up. All right, here it goes, guys. We've got our tricep all fours push up. Now make sure your knees are shoulder width apart. Sometimes it's easy to get moved around while we're doing these movements and we begin to lose our form. Squeeze your core. Your stomach should be nice and tight as you're coming down to the ground. And remember, you can modify it and go down just a little bit. All right, one more. Woo, okay, I was feeling that. That was great. Okay, so that is it for our first round. We're doing a total of 5 rounds, okay? So for our second workout, we have a single arm row. If you have some light dumbbells, please grab those. All right, and we're gonna get set up. All right, so back on all fours, just like we were with our push-up, and you're gonna put that dumbbell right underneath you. And remember, the shoulder needs to stay in line with the wrist. Don't come too far forward or too far back, okay? All right, here it goes. Squeeze the elbow up towards the ceiling and then release it. Squeeze and release. And this is called a single arm row. We're working the back of the muscles, the back muscles, the back of the arm, keeping your core nice and straight. And then try to set your focus in front of you. So you should be looking at the ground. I know that's hard sometimes when we're trying to follow along and watch a video. All right, let's turn our bodies over to the other side. And you can stay where you're at and just switch arms. I like to move around so you guys can see me. All right, so same positioning. We want to have our knees about shoulder width apart. Our wrist needs to be directly under our shoulder, okay? And let's pull it up and come down. Up, and you can allow it to rest at the bottom if you'd like, or you can try to hold on to the dumbbell so that you are engaging your muscles the entire time. So I'll leave that up to you guys if you want to have a little rest at the bottom or if you want to hold on to that dumbbell. Make sure you're squeezing those back muscles. We don't want to use momentum. We want to use our strength, and we want to make sure everything is slow and controlled. One more. Okay, awesome. We have one more set on each side, and you can stay where you're at and just switch arms. I'm just moving around so that you guys can get a good view of what this movement looks like, okay? All right, 30 seconds, last set, let's go. All right, you're doing great. Keep that elbow close to your side. The elbow should be coming straight up to the ceiling. All right, great job. Switch it to the other side. This is our last set on our row, our single arm row. Okay. All right. We've got 5 seconds before we start. Once again, make sure your wrists are in line with your shoulders And let's go. 30 seconds on the clock. Squeezing at the top of that movement, drawing the elbow up towards the ceiling, keeping our core nice and tight, breathing through the workout. Okay, we've got 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, give me one more. Ugh, great job. You guys did awesome. You should be feeling that all right here, okay? All right, great. So now we have our overhead tricep extension, and I'm just gonna stay, I've got my mat here and it's comfortable, so I'm just gonna stay in this position for my overhead extension. The way that we do this movement, we're gonna use one dumbbell, okay? Make sure it's a light dumbbell so that you can get the form first. We don't wanna go too heavy to start because we wanna make sure our form is good first. We never wanna sacrifice our form for heavy weight, okay? Now, eventually, we might be able to work up to that heavy weight, but form is the most important, okay? So you're gonna take your hands just like this. I don't know if you can see that, but basically I'm cradling my index finger and my thumb around the top of the dumbbell, and I'm holding it with my fingers. You don't want to drop this on your head, that would hurt. So make sure you have a good hold on that dumbbell. And then I like to position it up on my shoulder and then push up, okay? And you're gonna keep your elbows, you don't want your elbows way out here, okay? If you do that, you're gonna lose control of your dumbbell and you're not gonna be working the correct muscles and you could hit yourself in the head. So we don't wanna do that. So keep your elbows nice and tucked in. Make sure you have a good hold on that dumbbell, and then you're going to simply push up towards the ceiling with your, you're using your triceps to lift up this dumbbell, and you're gonna hold it at the top for just a moment, okay? All right, you guys ready? 30 seconds. You're like, hello, have we not already done at least 10 seconds of this workout? Okay. There you go. So squeezing at the top, nice and controlled. We don't want to throw the weight around, and your dumbbell might be pretty light, so this might be really easy for you to do, and that's okay, but what I want you to really focus on is squeezing the tricep, because even with really light weight, we can get a great workout if we are focusing on the muscles that we are working and engaging them. It's that muscle to mind connection, okay? All right, great job. Go ahead and bring it down. And if you need to kind of shake out your arms a little bit. We've got one more set. This is all upper body today. You guys are doing so great. I'm so proud of you. You've already progressed so much from the first 2 weeks, and you're building your confidence on how to work out, how to take care of your body, and that is so amazing. All right, grab your dumbbell, pick it up on your shoulder, cradle it with your thumbs, okay? You can bring it up to the top if you'd like, and then drop it down, 30 seconds. Keep your elbows close to your ears. We don't want them coming out like this, okay? Core is tight, back is straight. "15 seconds. Five, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay. Awesome, y'all are doing so good. Next we have a bicep curl. So you can move your mat out of the way if you'd like. I'm gonna go ahead and do that really quick, and then we will need 2 dumbbells for our bicep curls. Okay, so grab your light dumbbells. We've got bicep curls here. Okay, so let's stand nice and tall. You're holding your dumbbells just like this. You don't want too tight of a grip, okay? So it's a firm grip, but you're not just squeezing them, okay? So just make sure you have a good hold of them. And then we're going to curl the dumbbells up and then slowly bring them down. Now, when you're doing this, you wanna make sure your elbows are tucked in, almost like tucked into your ribs, okay? So those elbows are close to your side and you're coming up, coming down. So you're really not moving the biceps, but you're using them almost like a lever to pull the weight up towards your chest and lower it down towards your legs. And you'll notice I tend to always have a little bit of a bend in my knees. I don't ever completely lock out my legs because it's uncomfortable and it's just not the best for your body. So a little bend in the knees is good. Nice straight back and squeeze those biceps. We've got 5 seconds here. 4, 3, 2, last one. Okay, y'all did awesome. Great job. Something that you want to notice when you're doing your curl, you don't want to be swinging the weights, okay? So everything's controlled, right? So those arms are pushed into your ribs almost, and you're just allowing the forearms to act as a lever, and you'll really feel that muscle isolation in your bicep. Okay, last set. Pick up your dumbbells, get those arms locked in, and let's go. Stand nice and tall. Eyes should be looking forward. Squeezing at the top, lowering down nice and slow. Everything's controlled here. Let's do one more. Okay, perfect. That went very well. Our last, that's right, I said last workout is our front raise. You may need something a little bit lighter than what you used on your bicep curls. Typically, you can lift a little bit more with your biceps than doing these sort of movements. But I mean, then again, you might have a lot of strength in these movements. So maybe a little bit different for everybody. But if you have lighter dumbbells, go ahead and grab those. We have a front raise, which will be working our shoulders. I'm just gonna use the same ones. Okay, we've got 5 seconds, and then we're gonna get started on our front raise. Stand nice and tall, pull the shoulders back, pushing the chest out, and let's go. So you're raising those dumbbells directly in front of you, about shoulder height, and you're slowly lowering it to the ground. Everything is controlled here, right? We're not swinging the weight. We're using our muscles to lift, and we're controlling them as it goes down, right? Gravity and the weight is working against us, which is working our muscles. Okay, we've got about 5 seconds, 4, 3, 2, 1. And you can lower your weights to the ground, and then we just have one more set. Can you believe it? Whew. We've made it this far, and y'all are doing so great. I'm so proud of you for using weight today and for stepping outside of your comfort zone if this is something that you're not used to doing. Nobody was just born knowing how to do these things, right? Everything that we do, we've had to learn, even from the simplest things like eating, right? We had to learn that skill. And so just have grace with yourself. You're doing so great just being here, and just remember that all these things take time to learn, but the more that you do it, the more you will become knowledgeable and feel comfortable with it. "30 seconds. There you go. We've got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. You can toss those dumbbells off to the side, not literally, but just set them off to the side here. Okay. So next we have our stretching. Please stay with me through the stretching. It's so important that you stretch after you work out because it will prevent injury and allow your body to cool down properly. So this is an overhead lat stretch. As you're doing this, make sure you're not just collapsing the body to the side. You want to lift up towards the ceiling and then just slightly bend over to one side. So it's more of a lifting than a bending, even though it looks very bendy. Okay, let's switch to the other side. So once again, think about lifting your body up and over. And just breathe through that stretch. Great. All right, tricep, bring your arm over, and then you can position your hands at the wrist if you would like. Just hold it here. Nice little stretch through the shoulder. And the other side, right? We've got our other shoulder. We worked those muscles hard today. We need to make sure we give them a little love, stretch them out. Okay, triceps, bring your arm over and just allow that hand to rest behind the head towards the spine, and then use this other hand to just slightly pull on that tricep. Not forcing it, but just giving it a little bit of a stretch. And let's switch to the other side. Same thing, we don't want to ever force our body into movements or stretches, but we just want to allow it to kind of fall into place, and then maybe just give it a little bit of a nudge. Flexibility does not happen overnight. It takes time. Okay, all right, and then we have our chest stretch. So same sort of concept where, you know, we don't want to force ourselves into this position. So if you need to grab a towel and hold it, that is perfectly fine. That's a good modification. If you're able to grab your hands and then lift the chest, pulling the arms behind you, you should feel a nice pull in your chest, nice opening of the chest. Standing nice and tall. Okay, that's it. Thank y'all so much for being here. Be sure to schedule in the rest of your workouts throughout the week and take advantage of those rest days. We've got some stretching in between our workouts. They're very short, 10 minutes, but you will be so glad that you stretched in between because it will help with any sort of soreness that you have. Y'all have a great day. Thank you.